Now your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, some really nice weather across central Illinois once again. That's our Gibson City weather camera, part of the Roofing Dog at Gibson Area Hospital. As you can see there, camera, that's just another beautiful day. Some fair weather cumulus clouds out there. Otherwise, temperatures low 80s again. Now, just a tad bit warmer than what we had yesterday, just a tad bit. You can't really tell much of a difference, though. It's still really nice. We've been watching the radar here. A couple little showers that did creep up right here near the Indiana-Illinois state line, but we think most of us are going to stay dry here and stay cool again. We're headed down to the 50s for an overnight low. Enjoy it. We'll talk about how long this will stick around coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now, from WCIA 3 News.
I don't think I can ever feel safe again.
She says her life was threatened by her neighbors, why she's still fearful for her life. Plus, SNAP benefits could be going away for millions. How that will impact more than just the people who receive them. And you're going to want to watch your speed on the roads tomorrow. We'll tell you who's going to be watching you.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
And still right now today, to ask me, am I living in fear? Of course I am. Of course I am.
A woman in Danville is selling her home after she says she was verbally abused in her neighborhood. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. This woman says a group of people she didn't know yelled racial slurs and death threats at her. She's filed a police report and they're still investigating. WCIA 3's Andy Olson is live in our newsroom tonight. Andy, what have police told you about this?
Jennifer, police are trying to figure out if there's hate group involvement. Last Thursday night, Paulette Lester says she and her friend went back to her home. Then she claims a group pulled up in their car and started calling her the N-word, saying they would kill her. Lester believes the group has affiliation with the KKK and her neighbor. When we talked to that neighbor, he denied any Klan involvement, but he did admit the incident happened. Lester says she never expected something like this.
I didn't dream in a million years that it would happen to me. Living here in Vermilion County especially, I've been here my whole life. And this is the first time I've been put up against something like this.
While we were there, we saw a Confederate flag in the window of the neighbor. Lester told us that's one of the reasons she has put her home up for sale. She doesn't know where she's moving yet after living there for 4 years, but she wants the process to go quickly. Live in the newsroom, Andy Olson, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Thank you, Andy, for that. Governor Pritzker is condemning something a local Democratic group in Kankakee County posted to Facebook. The photoshopped image compares President Trump's supporters to members of the KKK. This post comes one day after a group run by the co-chair of the Illinois GOP posted a mock movie poster calling 4 women in Congress the Jihad Squad. Both posts have since been deleted. The governor regularly calls the president racist and a xenophobe, but says this recent post is, quote, wrong and lacks the civility our politics should demand.
Police in Leroy are investigating a possible attempted abduction. Police say a woman was walking home from a downtown tavern early this morning when a man asked if she wanted a ride. When she said no, he started to get out of the car and told her to get in. The suspect is described as an older man with a long white beard down to his stomach. The woman says he was driving an older white pickup truck. Police are asking anyone with security cameras to turn in footage they might have of that suspect or the car. We have new developments on a murder that happened in Decatur in August. Charges have been dropped against Ray James. He was arrested and charged for stabbing and killing Cody Drew. The Macon County State's attorney says it dropped the charges and James has been released from custody. He won't say why the charges were dropped because the investigation's ongoing.
3 firefighters were hurt during a house fire this morning. It happened near Miller Street and Columbia Avenue in Springfield. The house was destroyed. One firefighter fell through the floor to the basement. He was the only one of the 3 who had to be taken to the hospital. He was released.
Injuries are part of the nature of our profession, and every firefighter knows that injuries are possible, but like I said, minor injuries, we're just very fortunate.
The Springfield Fire Department went to a second fire this afternoon at a commercial garage. They were able to put that out quickly. No one was hurt in that fire.
We now know the name of a woman from Mahomet who was killed in a crash in Coles County on Sunday. Officials say 25-year-old Kayla Kelly lost control of her car near Country Road 30 East and 250 North. Her car rolled over and she was thrown from it.
Be careful on the roads tomorrow because police will be out in full force. State police are teaming up with agencies across the state to keep drivers from speeding. Tomorrow is the 4th annual Speed Awareness Day. The goal is to educate through enforcement. There'll be more troopers out there than normal.
We all have places to be. Our schedules are all tight. But we all need to work together to address the consequences, the avoidable consequences that result from driving way too fast and feeling that our destination, where we are going, matters more than the safety of all others on the road.
In 2017, speeding was the cause of more than 40% of traffic deaths in the state. Millions of people could be without a supplement they depend on to eat each day.
Yeah, the Trump administration is proposing new regulations to determine who gets food stamps or SNAP benefits. Some organizations say these rules could make it harder for families to take care of a basic need. WCIA 3's Jamie Mays is here now. So, Jamie, how many people could be impacted?
Paul, it could eliminate about 3 million people from the program, and that has some people worried about the impact that might have on families. Families who are automatically getting food stamps because they have welfare benefits would no longer get those stamps. Doing that could possibly save the government about $2.5 billion a year. Proponents of this plan say because of the strong economy, there aren't as many people who need to get this assistance. I spoke with Carol Schaefer. She is the food director at Northeast Community Fund in Decatur. She says if this plan becomes reality, it could have a big impact on nonprofits.
It affects their housing, it affects, their living expenses and their food budget. And so in this anticipation, we as a food pantry are, also realizing that our numbers will probably increase.
Schaefer says if this happens, it won't just be Northeast Community Fund that would be impacted, but other food pantries throughout the nation may notice more people coming through their doors. For now, this is just a proposal, so there will be several more steps that need to be taken before or even if this is even implemented. Paul?
All right, Jamie, thanks for that update. Now, the Department of Agriculture says fewer people are using SNAP benefits. About 36 million received them in April. That's down from 38 million the previous year.
New tonight at 5, 2 Central Illinois pharmacies are closing by the end of the month. The Complete Care Pharmacy on Washington Street near Neal and Champaign will close its doors. So will the one in Springfield near North 5th and East Jefferson. The company says all patient prescriptions will be filled by Walgreens starting July 31st.
Students at some schools in Macon County will see changes when they return to the classroom this fall. Decatur Public High School students will have to show up earlier, but they'll leave earlier. This change will get students who participate in after-school activities home earlier as well. In the past, students had to sit through 6 one-hour-long periods. Now they'll have 7 shorter classes. Administrators say the extra class will allow for students to take more classes they're interested in.
The bell schedule also is now allowing for 7 periods with a focus period instead of 6 periods. So we have 45-minute periods as opposed to 60-minute periods, which we had before. And that allows for our electives to really grow and prosper.
That focus period will be 30 minutes long and allow students to get any type of help they need, from social and emotional support to extra tutoring.
The state ordered the Eagle Creek Resort to be burned down. Why some agencies are benefiting from it.
Plus, a statue of Jesus was vandalized. We'll tell you about the plan to resurrect it.